The Buckeye Association for Auto Racing is proud to present the Super Pro Series, the crown jewel of late model racing in the Ohio Valley. Today, it is the season finale for the 2016 BAAR Super Pro Series season, the 27th annual Super Seal Wisconsin 200 at the quarter-mile bull ring, Slinger Speedway in Slinger, Wisconsin, which is the series' first trip to the Badger State. And since this is a Triple Crown event, the race is divided into 4 equal segments of 50 laps each. The leader at the end of each segments 1 through 3, receives 3 bonus points. Any cars 2 or more laps down at the end of each segment will be eliminated. A driver is permitted 2 waiver rounds, which means if a driver falls a lap down in each of the first 3 segments, they are eliminated. Single file restarts for the first 3 segments, and the race must end under green. If the race should end under caution, then the GWC rule will be implemented. Starting from the pole position is the number 66 of Brad Brinkley for Red Bull Autosport, who came into today's race just 6 points out of the championship lead behind Ashley Elliott, who's currently leading as the green flag flies for 200 laps here around the Slinger Speedway. And Brinkley's going to come around and lead the first lap, and that's an extra bonus point. So now he's just 4 points out of the championship lead, and his another title rival gets into him a little bit, coming off of turn 2 as they battle for the lead, bringing out the first caution of the day. The 16 car is also around. Star Banner and the 02 and the 7 get into him. Let's see what happens here. It looked like the 66 actually got loose coming off of turn 2, and the 2 car got into the back of him. The 16 of Star Banner gets turned around by Frank Denny Jr. in the 11 car off turn 2. The 7 of Welch and the 02 of Jennifer Duke are also involved in this. Here's the onboard from Jennifer Duke. She gets around the 66 car, but nowhere to go as the 16 slides up in front of her. Tough break for her. She falls out of the race early on here in the Slinger 200. Well, the Wisconsin 200, I should say. Yeah, it just looked like the 66 got a little bit loose off turn 2, and the 2 of Lucy Barton, who's only 9 points out of the championship coming into today's race, gets into the back of him. But it definitely looked like the 66 car got a little bit loose. And with that, we have a new race leader as the green flag flies with a little bit of an awkward restart right there. Several cars trying to get back on the lead lap on the inside there as the 02 gets touched by the 3 of Buddy Swanson coming off of turn 4. They come back together in turns 1 and 2, sending the 02 into the wall. He gets collected by the 24, the 94, the 34, the 71A, and your championship leader, Ashley Elliott, is also involved, and she has a lot of damage to the front of that car. Wow, this became a much bigger accident as the red flag has come out now, because the 8 of Ashley Elliott actually T-bones the side of the 24 car, flipping it over onto its top. And that necessitated the red flag coming out for the first time this season as we go on board with Ashley Elliott in the 8 car. Bam! Right into the side of the 24 car. And that is going to be the end of Ashley Elliott's race after just 12 laps. What a tough break for Ashley Elliott. As you see the wreck once again. She came into this race as the championship leader, and her incredibly successful season, including being a championship contender, has come to an end here at the Slinger Speedway. After about 15 to 20 minutes, the cars went back under caution, and the green flag comes back out with Lucy Barton once again the race leader, and most of the field a lap down. In fact, there were only 9 cars on the lead lap on this restart. The 71 of Hunter Blaze, currently running in the 3rd position on lap number 21. He, like the 2 of Lucy Barton, is going to be moving up after this season to a new ride. And he gets together with the 42 of Trey Zavala. Not exactly sure what happened there. It looked like the 42 might have come down a little wee bit on board with the 71. Kind of hard to tell there. Looks more like a racing incident than anything else, but the 42 was able to get back going again. It also caused this little schmozzle though. The 40 of Richard Dusublin tries to get out of the way of the 42 car and ends up getting into the 1, spinning them both out. Believe it or not, all of this does not result in a caution flag, believe it or not. So the 42 getting knocked around a little bit, and then the 40 getting into the 1 car, spinning them both out. However, the officials did not deem it necessary to draw the caution flag out, so the race remains in the green. The 1 and the 40 were able to get back underway though. This, however, would draw the caution as the 3 gets into the 16 of Star Banner, and all hell breaks loose in turn 1 again. And the 2 of Lucy Barton gets into the back of Bridget DuSublin a little bit, your race leader. So let's see what happens here. The 3 once again gets into somebody. The 16 this time, and that collects the 42, the 34, and the 94. Boy, the 3 really needs to tone down that aggressiveness a little bit. I mean, we're only on lap 30 here. And this is the 3rd caution of the day, coming out on lap 24. As the green flag flies once again, Lucy Barton continues to lead. Her championship rival, Brad Brinkley, is currently in the 10th position, but is 1 lap down. And she's looking to try to keep it that way, and gets a good run off of turns 3 and 4, and manages to pull herself out in front of the main pack. Near the middle of the pack, 2 rookie contenders, the 52 of William Brock and the 97 of Bill Jones, get together, sending the 52 for a loop and bringing out the 4th caution of the day on lap 32. This also causes another schmozzle. This time the 9 of Robert Burton gets knocked up into the 94 of Daniel Evans, which causes them to slide along the outside wall a little bit, but they are able to keep going. And the 7 of Samantha Welsh gets into the back of the 94. Man, this has not been Samantha Welsh's day, as she is involved in yet another accident. I'm pretty sure she'll be glad when this race is over. The field comes back to the green, and Lucy Barton continues to lead the way in the 2 car. The 66 of Brad Brinkley gets a much better restart this time, although Barton piles it hard down into turns 3 and 4. But the 66 is still on the inside and gets a much better run through turns 1 and 2, and is able to get back in front of the 2 car. In the meantime, the 71 of Hunter Blaze has a run on Barton for the race lead. Heading down into turns 3 and 4, he has the inside line, and Hunter Blaze takes over the lead for the first time here in the Wisconsin 200. The 2 of Lucy Barton falling back into the 2nd position. The 11 car of Frank Denny Jr. currently running in the 3rd position gets into the side of the 88 of Chuck Darling, and that brings out the 5th caution, the 71 of Cora Masterson, involved in that one as well. But all cars get away. This brings out the 5th caution of the day. There are just 2 laps to go in this segment as Hunter Blaze gets a good start over Lucy Barton in the 2 car, with the 10 of Liliana Machado running way high up in turns 3 and 4 as the white flag comes out, signifying the final lap of segment number 1. And the caution flag has actually come back out after Blaze took the white flag, and that will be the end of segment number 1. Now the reason for the 6th caution, hard hit for Machado outside of the turn 4, and she gets nailed by a couple cars, including Bill Jones, Samantha Welsh, and the 40 of Bridget DuSublin. However, all of them are able to continue on and finish the first segment of the race. So here are the standings after segment number 1. Hunter Blaze leads the way, Lucy Barton in 2nd, Buddy Swanson, her teammate, in 3rd, Gordon Davis in 4th, Angelina Hawk, Bridget DuSublin, Frank Danny Jr., Trey Zavala, Brad Brinkley, and Evans round out the top 10. Waiver rounds are Burton, Machado, Brock, Masterson, Darling, Evans, Jones, and Warren. And eliminated from the race, Samantha Welch, Ashley Elliott, Jennifer Duke, Justin Fontaine, Star Banner, Valerie Forge, and Parker Witt. Once again, the big one there is Ashley Elliott, the championship leader coming into today. So we come to the start of segment number 2. Hunter Blaze leads them to the green with Lucy Barton on his outside. And here comes the 3 of Buddy Swanson up to take the 2nd position away, as the 32 gets way loose going into turn 3, but manages to get back going again. As Hunter Blaze leads the first lap of this 2nd segment, as we're on board with Machado, who gets kind of loose off of turn 2 as well. And coming on to the front stretch, there's trouble in front of her as the 32 is spun around. The 42, her teammate, gets into him a little bit. The 32 got loose off of turn 4 and into what looked to be the 11 car. The 42 of Trey Zavala gets into him a little bit, but is able to continue on, and this brings out the 7th caution of the day. On lap number 53, as the 9 of Robert Burton and the 94 of Daniel Evans gets into him as well. All cars sustained some damage, but were able to continue on and rejoin the tail end of the field. Hunter Blaze leads the field back to the green flag here on lap number 9 of segment number 2, which is lap 59 overall. Angelina Hawk in the 1 car right behind him is now assumed the 2nd position. This in spite of the fact that she was spun out in segment number 1. In the meantime, the 66 of Brad Brinkley is currently running in the, well, he's not running too good at the moment. One of your championship contenders, as here comes the 32 underneath with him. He came into this race 6 points out of the championship leads, started from the pole and also led a lap to cut that lead to 4. There's another championship contender, the 40 of Bridget DuSublin, who came into today's race 24 points out of the lead. And this is in spite of the fact that this team does not have any sponsorship whatsoever. So, I mean, if there are any sponsors watching, I mean, she would be a great car to sponsor for next season. The 97 of Bill Jones. He is currently running in the 11th position at the moment. Your Rookie of the Year in waiting, I would say. He currently leads the rookie standings. Pretty much has been all season long with a lot of top 5 finishes as well. Currently running in the 5th position on the point standings, 29 points out of the lead, so he could still win the championship conceivably, because this is a double points event. Here's another driver who might be looking to clinch the championship today, Lucy Barnton. She came into today 3rd in the championship, 9 points out of the lead, in spite of the fact that she has not won a race this season. In fact, her only career win came last year in the season opener. And here's the 71 of Hunter Blaze. He has not won yet this season either. He came into today's race 8th in the championship. Like Lucy Barnton, Hunter Blaze is going to be moving up after this season. He's going to be driving in the FARC, what will be the FARC Smash Spear, or not, well, Smash Spear is no longer going to be the sponsor of that series, as the 66 gets into the outside wall. What I meant to say is the FARC Low Dollar Series, driving the 17 car for Gravity Racing Incorporated. Here is his teammate down here, the 71A of Cora Masterson, having one of her best outings of the season. She hasn't really done too well on that 71A car this season. The 1 of Angelina Hawk, this is her first season behind the wheel of this Red Bull machine. She is currently 17th in the points, so not exactly the debut for Red Bull Autosport that she wanted, but she's had good runs. Just a lot of mechanical failures have really hampered her this season, as she has a run underneath the 71 of Hunter Blaze for the race lead. She's alongside him coming down the backstretch, the highly banked backstretch here at Slinger. One of the fastest racetracks in the world, high bank quarter mile bull ring, as Hawk takes over the lead for the first time today. The 10 of Liliana Machado gets into the back of the 3 of Buddy Swanson, sending him down onto the apron and sending him sliding up the track in turns 3 and 4. That'll bring out the 8th caution of the day here on lap 89. So only 2 cautions so far in this segment, so a lot cleaner segment than I think a lot of people expected, considering how crash happy that first segment was, but certainly nice to see that we had a lot fewer cautions in this segment so far. The field comes back around to take the green flag once again as Angelina Hawk leads them to the green. She won the season finale last year, which was at Grand Detour last year, and it was only a 10-race season, but she won with the last lap pass and nearly won the championship. As a result, came up just 8 points shy of the championship. A little bit of an incident late in this segment as the 32, Gordon Davis, gets into the outside wall, much like Liliana Machado did in the first segment. The 94 gets into him, and Machado also bangs off of him, causes a lot of damage to the radiator, and that's going to take Machado out of the race with just a few laps to go in this segment. You see the 32 getting up way high and into the wall. The 10 with nowhere to go, the 94 with nowhere to go, but the caution does not come out, and the 32 is already 1 lap down, so he's got to get going again, because here comes Angelina Hawk in the 1 car, who hounds them coming all the way back to the line, but Davis manages to hold her off and keep himself just 1 lap down, which was very important, considering that if he would have went 2 laps down, he would have been eliminated. As Hawk wins segment 2, Blaze in 2nd, Lucy Barnton 3rd, Roy Warren moves up to 4th, Cora Masterson up to 5th, Bill Jones in 6th, William Brock 7th, Dusublin, Burton, and Evans round out the top 10. Your waiver rounds: Buddy Swanson, Frank Denny Jr., Gordon Davis, Trey Zavala, Brad Brinkley, and Chuck Darling. That's Chuck Darling's second waiver round, by the way. And eliminated the 10 of Liliana Machado, who, as I said, was involved in that little shemazel at the end of segment number 2. Moving on to segment number 3, as the sun has set here at the Slinger Speedway. Angelina Hawk leads the field back to the green flag to start the second half of the Super Seal Wisconsin 200, as Lucy Barton has a run underneath the Blaze for the second position, and she's going to get it coming off of turn number 4. The caution comes back out once again as the 11 of Frank Denny Jr. gets into the 94 of Daniel Evans, sending him down into the 9 of Robert Burton. Boy, those two have come together a couple of times already in this race. Let's add one more. The 42 and the 3 touch the 94 a little bit, but are able to get around with not much of a problem. And this brings out the 9th caution of the day on lap 102. And there you see Frank Denny Jr. basically tried to go 3 wide, and it doesn't really work out so well. Hawk will lead the field back to the green flag for restart number 10, with Lucy Barton right on her heels. And Hunter Blaze currently running in the top 3 with his teammate Cora Masterson in the 4th position. And here comes Blaze back underneath of Lucy Barton for the 2nd spot. Very clear that the 71 has perhaps the fastest car here tonight, as he gets around the 2 car with relative ease. And here comes Bill Jones in the 97 car trying to get a run underneath of Cora Masterson in the 71A. Bill Jones quickly closing in on his Rookie of the Year title in his first season with Genesis Racing. The 40 of Bridget Dusublin smacks the turn 4 wall, much like the 32 and 10 have done, but she is able to keep going without too much of a problem. And the battle for the lead heats up once again between the 71 of Blaze and the 1 of Angelina Hawk. Of course, Blaze looking for his first victory of the season, and first since his monumental 2013 season, in which he won 5 races, including the championship, in his rookie year, essentially, even though the Rookie of the Year title wasn't contested until this year. And here comes the 71 of Cora Masterson, his teammate, up to challenge Barton for the 3rd position, and takes it. And she's now got a run underneath of Angelina Hawk for the 2nd spot, but Hawk able to power back around as Jones gets around Barton. So all of a sudden that 2 car is not looking too good here at the beginning of this 3rd segment here at Slinger. And here comes Masterson underneath the 1 car for the 2nd spot. So now Gravity Racing Incorporated cars are running 1-2 right now, as Barton is continuing to struggle at the moment. And this is certainly not something you want to see if you're a Barton fan. The 66 of Brad Brinkley has been clawing his way back into contention and now is passing the 2 of Lucy Barton. So if things end as they are right now, Brinkley will win his 3rd BAAR Super Pro Series championship. After the first 3 races of the season, you wouldn't have thought that, considering he was 20th in the points, but oh, it's getting a little bit tight right here, and the 66 smacks the wall. The 9 of Robert Burton gets into him. The 66 of Brinkley hangs on to it. Holy crap, how the hell did he hang on to that one? That car should have been gone off of turn 4 after he smacked the wall. The 9 gets into him. Look how loose this 66 car is, and how he held on to it is beyond me. The 9, of course, there wasn't really much he could do about that one, as we're on board with the 42 of Trey Zavala. He had a front row seat to all this. That is the save of the year by Brad Brinkley, and that could have saved his championship hopes right there. Whew. I'm pretty sure he's going to need a new set of underwear after this one. The 99 of Roy Warren gets into the wall a little bit, comes down into the 11 of Frank Denny Jr., and sets off this shemazo involving the 94 of Daniel Evans. Trey Zavala involved hard. Gordon Davis, Brad Brinkley's involved. The 71 of Hunter Blaze is involved as well. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, hard hit for the 94 of Daniel Evans, but he's able to keep going. The 42 involved, the 32, the 66. It looks like minor damage for the 66 and 71 though, as this brings out the 10th caution of the day here on lap number 127. Blaze leads on the restart, and he gets a pretty good jump over everyone else who seemed to be asleep on that restart. as he just drives away from everyone with the 40 car right behind him, although I believe she is a lap down. And nobody else is able to contest the 71 of Blaze as he comes off the final corner to take the checkered flag, and the 40 is around to end segment number 3. So what the heck happened here? Oh, the 40 got a little bit loose off of turn 4 and comes down into Barnton. That actually brings out the 11th caution of the day on lap 150. But Dusublin is able to get it back going again and does finish segment number 3. Although she does smack the wall again a little bit right there, but she's able to finish the segment, which will allow her to move on to the final segment. Hunter Blaze leads the way. His teammate Cora Masterson is second, Bill Jones in third, Hawk in fourth, Robert Burton moves up to fifth, Lucy Barton in sixth, Brock, Roy Warren, Buddy Swanson, and Gordon Davis round out the top 10. Waiver rounds are Bridget Dusublin and Daniel Evans in the 94 car. And the drivers eliminated from the race here at the end of segment number 3. Frank Denny Jr., Trey Zavala, and Chuck Darling in the 88 car, who once again fell to the lead lap in each of the first 3 segments. On to the 4th and final segment, the final 50 laps of the season. The Gravity Racing Incorporated teammates of Hunter Blaze and Cora Masterson lead on the restart. Blaze gets a good jump over everybody as the 97 of Bill Jones moves himself up into the 2nd position, or at least tries to, as Angelina Hawk takes it 3 wide with herself, the 9 and the 71A, as Blaze manages to get away with a pretty good lead. As we look back at Robert Burton, who won earlier this year at Louisville. Ooh! Masterson gets into the wall pretty hard off of turn 4 as Burton tries to get a run underneath. There's a little bit of 4 wide. Oh, this is going to be tight. Oh, and the 99 and the 32 get together off of turn 4, sending the 32 around, bringing out the 12th caution of the day on lap 152, which actually ties for the most this season, as the 97 of Bill Jones actually has a run underneath of Hunter Blaze for the lead. Jones with a pair of runner-up finishes this season. I believe 5 top 5s this season as well. As Masterson gets into the turn 4 wall again and comes down into the 52 of William Brock, and also takes the 3 of Buddy Swanson as well, bringing out the 13th caution on lap 159. So that brilliant run of Masterson's goes up in smoke, literally, here in the final segment as Blaze continues to lead. Still searching for that first victory of 2016, and he's not that far away from it as the 97 of Bill Jones continues to run in 2nd. And here comes Lucy Barton in the 2 car, coming back after having a, as the 9 of Robert Burton smacks the wall a little bit. She had a little bit of a down 3rd segment, falling back into the field a little bit, but it looks like they made some adjustments to that 2 car, and the Aerosport Racing machine is on its way back towards the front, now back up into the 2nd position behind the 71 of Hunter Blaze, as she's looking for her first BAAR Super Pro Series title. And if things end as they are now, it will be the number 2 on top of the points with the 66 in 2nd. Brinkley currently running in the 6th position. He still has 30 laps to try to get back to the front and challenge Barnton for the championship, but at the moment it's looking pretty slim, as Barton is on her way towards the front, and the 66 is kind of stuck back in traffic, tailing the 94 of Daniel Evans right now. As the battle for 2nd, or actually the battle for 3rd, heats up a little bit. Ooh! As the 97 gets a little bit loose off of turn 4, swaps a little bit of paint with Hawk, but Hawk is able to complete the pass for the 3rd position. That got a little sketchy there down the front stretch, but Hawk is able to take over the 3rd position. On board with Lucy Barton in the 2 car, she looks ahead, and she is closing the gap slowly but surely on the 71 of Hunter Blaze as we close in on 20 laps to go here in the 2016 season. And the 97 of Bill Jones is stopped at the end of the pit lane in turn 4. Have to get a replay of that. Let's see what happened here to the 97. And he hits the wall really hard and brings that car to a stop at the end of turn number 4 at the end of the pit lane. He's able to get it back to the pits, but his day is over with here at Slinger. 71 of Cora Masterson gets turned by the 99 of Roy Warren after she gets a little bit loose, and that's going to bring out the 14th caution of the day on lap number 180. So we are inside of 20 laps to go here in the Wisconsin 200. Here's where things get a little bit interesting, because Masterson is lining up on the inside for the restart, which I don't think you're allowed to do in the fourth and final segment. I don't know why she'd want to do that to begin with Blaze, her teammate, as the leader. And here comes Lucy Barnton underneath of Hunter Blaze for the race lead. And Blaze actually loses second place as well. So, wow, what a schmozzle by Cora Masterson. She just essentially costed her teammate the race lead and quite possibly the race win. Well, I'll guarantee you Blaze is not too happy about that, as Lucy Barnton is now back out in front for the first time since the first segment. Angelina Hawk moves up into the second position and is right on the heels of Lucy Barnton as she tries to get back into the victor's circle for the first time since the season finale last year. In the meantime, the 66 of Brad Brinkley has moved himself all the way up in the fourth, as Blaze has actually slipped back to sixth in all this. Boy, this race has certainly dropped down for him here in the late stages as Brinkley moves up to fourth. But even with this top 5 run, it still would not be enough, believe it or not, because this is double points. And if things stand as they are, Lucy Barnton will be the 2016 champion. So he really needs something to happen here in the closing laps of the race as Blaze gets underneath of the 40 to retake the 5th position. As Brinkley continues to run in the 4th spot, but there's trouble right in front of these guys, which brings out the 15th and final caution. The 32 gets into the turn 4 wall again, and the 9 of Robert Burton gets nailed. The 3 of Buddy Swanson's involved, Gordon Davis, and it looks like the 71 also got a small piece of that. He did, as he hits the 3 car. Boy, what a downward spiral Hunter Blaze is on at the end of this race, leading the most laps. And as you can see, the white flag is currently out, which means that we're going to green, white, checkered, boys and girls. This race is not over yet, even though we've reached lap 200. So here are the standings after segment 4. Lucy Barnton leads, Hawk is second, Burton, Brinkley, Blaze, DuSublin, Daniel Evans, William Brock, Roy Warren, and Buddy Swanson make up the top 10. However, in this case, only the lead lap cars will get to compete in a GWC. So Swanson, Davis, Masterson, and Bill Jones have been eliminated, which means there are 9 cars set for a green, white, checkered finish, the first in BAAR Super Pro Series history as the green flag comes out. Lucy Barnton just 2 laps away from a championship as Robert Burton in the 9 car gets around Angelina Hawk as they come to the white flag. Boy, we've seen this story before. Barnton trying to hold off Robert Burton. He stole the win from her at Louisville earlier this season. As they come to the checkered flag, it's going to be close. Barnton, Lucy Barnton wins the Super Seal Wisconsin 200 by less than a car length. Robert Burton did something similar at Louisville, although he managed to get by her coming to the white flag. But this time around, he's not able to pull it off, and Lucy Barnton finally gets back into victory lane for the first time since the season opener last year. Angelina Hawk finishes in 3rd, Hunter Blaze in 4th, Brinkley in 5th, Roy Warren 6th, Bridget DuSublin 7th, Daniel Evans 8th, William Brock 9th, and Buddy Swanson rounds out the top 10. And now here are the final point standings from 20th on up. Valerie Forge finishes 20th, Machado in 19th, Jennifer Duke in 18th, Trey Zavala 17th, Samantha Welch 16th, Star Banner 15th, Buddy Swanson in 14th, pretty disappointing for him, Daniel Evans in 13th, William Brock in 12th, and Angelina Hawk's 3rd place finish vaults her up into the 11th position in the final point standings. And now here are the top 10 finishers who you will see on the stage in Columbus for the awards banquet. Parker Whitten, despite falling out early, hangs on to the 10th position in points. Frank Daney Jr., with 2 wins this year, finishes 9th. Roy Warren got his first career win this year. He finishes 8th. Bill Jones is your Rookie of the Year. Ashley Elliott came into today's race leading and falls to 6th. Robert Burton moves up to 5th. Hunter Blaze finishes 4th, so nice recovery for him. He wasn't too far up in the point standings early on either. Bridget DuSublin in 3rd. Brad Brinkley finishes runner-up, 20 points out of the lead. And as you see, Bill Jones, he is our inaugural AAA Rookie of the Year, so congratulations to him. But your 2016 BAAR Super Pro Series champion is Lucy Barton for Aerosport Racing. Congratulations to Lucy Barton. She's going to be moving up to the North American Auto Club next year, so we certainly wish her the best of luck. Well, that'll do it for us this season for the BAAR Super Pro Series, and we are moving to a new channel. The Knights of Gaming Ohio will be our new channel for the 2017 BAAR Super Pro Series, so be sure to subscribe to catch all the action for the 2017 season. We thank you for joining us here in the 2016 BAAR Super Pro Series. I'm color commentator John Lyondike, the voice of the Buckeye Association for Auto Racing, and we'll see you next season.